A lot of people don't believe in you. Is obvious by, 6 other quarterbacks taken and 198 other picks. And I always felt, you know what, once I get my shot, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to really take advantage of that.
At the combine, when you watch Tom, you saw this tall, gangly-looking kid, looked like haven't ever seen a weight room, ran a 5.2 something, one of the slowest quarterbacks in the combine. Does he wow you throwing the ball? There were some other guys that could shoot it, and he had just an okay arm.
Before Tom Brady will become the greatest quarterback ever, there were 6 guys that were drafted before him. The first was Chad Pennington, who was drafted 18th overall out of Marshall.
Pennington was the first quarterback taken in the 2000 draft. 181 spots before Tom Brady.
With the 18th pick in the first round, the Jets select quarterback Chad Pennington from Marshall University.
Chad Pennington ended up being the most successful of the 6 quarterbacks drafted before Brady. He was smart and accurate, but injuries crushed what could have been a promising career. Chad still managed to win 2 Comeback Player of the Year awards before retiring after the 2010 season.
I had 2 shoulder surgeries within 8 months, 2 rotator cuff tears, and I had lost the zip on the ball. A lot of times you're coming back from an injury with a body part that you don't have to survive with it. Shoulder, quarterback, that's your survival. That's your whole livelihood.
Next at pick 65, the 49ers took Giovanni Carmazi from Hofstra. Giovanni was seen as a big arm project, but he didn't even play a single snap in the NFL. He was mostly remembered for struggling in a preseason game against Tom Brady. He ended up retiring from football altogether in 2001, just a year after the draft. He would play a couple seasons in the CFL and in Europe before retiring to raise goats.
Steve Young pulled the plug on the 49ers' 20-year dynasty. From Montana and Young, we now have Garcia and Meyer. But perhaps the starter of the future is 23-year-old Giovanni Carmazi.
Hey, Coach.
2 days after Joe Montana was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the 49ers were hoping to see signs that Giovanni Carmazi was the next Joe Montana.
Carmazi under pressure, and let it be duly noted that his career begins rather ingloriously with back-to-back sacks.
The next Joe Montana was on the field that day. He just happened to play for the other team.
And I think we walked out of that game feeling that we had probably taken the right guy.
At pick 75, the Ravens drafted Chris Redmond from Louisville. Redmond had a few decent seasons as a backup in the league with the Ravens and the Falcons. He threw 21 career touchdowns, and he managed to stick around the league for 9 years before retiring.
We were prepared to take Chris Redmond in the first round. Our scouts in particular really loved the guy. So when he kept falling, and we were able to pick him up in the 3rd round, the room kind of exploded because we felt like we were getting a late first-round value.
I was out of the league for a couple of years, actually selling insurance on the streets.
At pick 163 was T. Martin from Tennessee. Martin had won a national championship in college, but when he got to the NFL, he began to struggle. He played in just 3 games in the NFL before bouncing around NFL Europe and the CFL before retiring. He's now the quarterback coach for the Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
In the NFL, he appeared in just 3 games and completed only 6 passes.
The NFL is such a bottom-line business. It's about production. You either get it done or you're not there any longer. And that reality sets in pretty quickly.
Then at pick 168, the Saints drafted Mark Bulger from West Virginia. Bulger was actually pretty good for a few years. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler with the Rams. He threw for over 22,000 yards, and he even led his team to a few playoff runs before injuries and bad teams eventually ended his career.
Seriously, how many reasons you need to pick me for fantasy football? There's one. Another. Honestly, I could do this all day. I'd pick me.
Bulger reached 1,000 completions faster than any quarterback in NFL history and was twice voted to the Pro Bowl.
I felt physically that he was as gifted a thrower as any quarterback that I'd ever been around.
What's up, Mark?
You're living good, man. You're living good.
Finally, at pick 183, the Browns drafted Spergon Wynn from Texas State. Wynn was a total long shot. He played a handful of games with the Browns and Vikings, but finished with just 1 career touchdown and 7 interceptions.
Spergon Wynn from Southwest Texas State, 47.8 completion percentage this past year at the Division I AA level, 13 interceptions, only 12 touchdown passes.
Would you say that again? 47%? I don't know. My tape must be blocked out or something. I can't figure this one out, guys.
We couldn't believe it. 47%. I mean, Tommy had thrown it better than 62% his senior year, had thrown twice as many TDs as interceptions, had come back in games and the biggest stage with 100,000 people in the stands, and he didn't get any respect.
I didn't see the Wynn kid. I don't remember him out of college much.
He's pretty good.
For some reason, I don't remember.
Minnesota, when you were there.
No.
At the University of Minnesota.
Oh, at the university? No. Was he really?
Yeah.
As what?
Quarterback.
Then finally at pick 199, the Patriots took Tom Brady, and the rest is history.
You know, finally when the Patriots called, I was so excited. You know, I was like, I don't have to be an insurance salesman, you know? So my family was there. We were all excited. And thank God I got picked here.
This skinny beanpole of a young man walked over to me and said, "Hi, Mr. Kraft. I want to introduce myself. I'm Tom Brady." I said, "I know who you are. You're our 6th-round draft choice." And he said, "That's right, and I'm the best decision this organization has ever made."